Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode number 2 of Top Gear. What's up, everybody? I hope everyone is safe. I'm here with Thana Krishnan.
Mr. Hey guys, my name is Thana, and welcome to Top Gear. This is how I do my video.
I'm just like, hey guys, Thomas here.
Just my thing,
and then I use the different objects to signify the car, right? So welcome to Top Gear. We're just starting up. Some people will be rolling in. Thank you for joining us this evening. What else can you do? Because you're at home,
baby.
You can't drive, unless you are, there's nothing much you can do. So we can talk about, we can't drive cars, talk about cars now, all right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Today we're going to talk about with Thana about cars and money. We're going to talk about what are the biggest mistakes we've done with our cars, what to avoid, and also share tips on how we can manage our funds so we can actually enjoy more cars and enjoy the dream car that you're looking for. Okay, so if you know somebody who wants to know about this topic, tag them in this video, share with them, and please let us know in the comments below. I want to know that you guys are here. It's a two-way interaction. Okay, let us know in the comments where you're tuning from. Let us know. Shout out. We can read your comments. Shout out where you're tuning in from, and let us know what you want to find out as well. So just shout your name and where you're tuning in from. Okay, which part of Malaysia, whether you're from Malaysia or you're outside Malaysia. Okay, hi Rachel. Hi Rachel.
Hey Rachel.
Okay. So Thana, you can see the comments over there. Okay, we can see you there. We can see you.
Okay, I can see on the right hand side. Simone is there. Ask people to share.
yeah. So feel free, right? Feel free. Go to comments there, right? Feel free to share your comments, right? And ask any questions. So before we start, while we're waiting for people to roll in and stuff like that, Thana, why don't you tell us how did you? Of course, we are all car enthusiasts, but how did you catch the car enthusiast bug? How did you become a car enthusiast?
I think it was my dad. I think all the while, my dad was a car guy. Every couple of years, he'll be changing cars when I was young. So I think, I don't come from a rich family, but if you can imagine, when I was probably 2 years old, we had a car. We had a old Austin, and we had from Mazdas to Minis to you name it. We had a lot of cars growing up. Peugeot 504s. So my dad was always into my dad was always a car guy, and that's one of the car I want to get, Peugeot 504. If anybody in Malaysia has a 504 for sale, it's not crazy expensive. I want to buy one, but I haven't been able to find a 504 for sale in Malaysia. It's not easy to find unrusted conditions. But but dad was a car guy, and from him, I want to be a car guy myself,
Wow.
But I was never as brave as my dad.
Why?
I think that was the trigger point. My dad was a bit brave because he used to buy cars which no one buy. He bought a old VW bus, for example, a 504, and then on my kind of career in cars, so to say, I always bought safe cars, Podanas and Sonatas and safe cars. The moment I changed was when I watched Bobby's video. So I kid you not, but 3-4 years ago, I watched Bobby's video, and then I say, this Chinaman is really challenging me. Bloody hell, who this idiot thing he is, I was so annoyed with Bobby because he was this guy, fat chubby guy coming online and videos talking about cars and used to be saying, you dare you buy car lah. These words are very strong, you see. And that's when I said, you know what, enough is enough.
Bobby is watching us.
I hope Bobby's watching. And then what I did was I bought the most difficult car anybody could buy because to challenge myself. So I bought an Audi A6 hybrid. Everybody in Malaysia hated the car, and I bought it. And that's when I broke my virginity of buying safe cars. And I have Bobby to thank for it. So I became from a fan to a friend to Bobby, and to me it's a dream come true, to go in the cycle.
Yeah. You're quite similar, no? Because I also wanted to go for safer cars. I was driving an M235i when I met Bobby, and then I bought the C43 because my M235 had problems. But I really regret selling the M235i. But when I met Bobby after MCU opened up, and I saw how he bought his RS6 and Aston Martin, I'm like, damn, I need to get. And then he's like, spider. So
I think Bobby is a very bad poison for all of us,
No, it's good, man. Come on, it's good. I thoroughly enjoy, making a decision. So thanks for sharing that, Thana. I mean, it's true. I used to play really safe, but as car enthusiasts, right? We live to drive. That's our decision, right?
Yeah.
Live to drive. You got a beautiful Audi A6 that as well. I got to chase your car down, and it makes amazing noise. By the way, I want to say hi to some people. Hi Baldwin. Hi Con. Ravindran. Let us know where you're from, guys. Alexander HP. Glad you get your Lexus back, man. That's been a while. Rachel, there's no Ling Wei here. Sorry. Only got Ling Chai and Ling Chai, two Ling Chais here. Hi Felix.
I like what Felix says. Felix says, Bobby said Esta is a big magnet. I mainly go and buy it afterwards.
Let us know where you're from, man, guys. Let me know in the comments where you're from, and don't forget to ask your questions as well. Okay, so that's our quick intro from Thana over here. All right. So for those of you who don't know, we're both creating content with Aurizn. Check out our YouTube page. All right. Check out our YouTube page. Thana Krishnan. Mine is Thomas Yap. Okay. So we've let's talk about the Simon later on. The video comes later on. We just go straight into the questions. Okay. So today's topic, for those who are tuning in, we're talking about cars and money. We're talking about what the greatest mistakes, financial mistakes we've done with cars, because some of us done it before. And those of you who are watching, perhaps you're looking to buy your next car, this will be a great place for you to get some advice, because I made some mistakes. But Thana probably has made some mistakes as well, I would guess.
A lot.
But he's a CFO for a company, so he looks at numbers very, very differently. I'm willing to learn from him as well how to avoid financial mistakes when buying cars. Okay, because it can be one bad decision and it will last you for the next decade. All right, is that fair to say, Thana? One decade.
I think it's almost like if you get burned once, forget the money part of it. I think it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and then you are scared to commit to the next one. So it's so that's the whole thing. As accountant, my problem was I'm always scared to commit to an unsafe bet. So for me to break out of that kind of mindset was very difficult. So and I'm sure people out there also are scared to commit to not the typical path of car ownership.
Yeah, but if you know how it's going to be, because fear is usually born from unknown, from I don't know what, right? But now if you're informed, then there's only next few steps to go, right?
Oh, yes.
So it's like so it's a place for, we're gonna have a lot of fun, but also we hope to bring you some sort of confidence. So you know what's the next few steps, the next 2-3 years, or maybe the next 5-6 months for you to eventually own your dream car. We love to hear the stories. We love to hear, as I don't know about you, Thana, but for me to hear some of my viewers end up buying certain cars because of watching the videos. That's what I love, man. All right. Okay. So okay, hi guys, hi Tony, hi Yoshinan, Henry, Con. All right, let's work out together for the M5. All right. By the way, guys, if you know a Peugeot 504, please let Thana know. He would love to have one.
Okay. I want to buy one. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna jump straight to the question. Okay. So let's talk about our financial mistake first. Okay. So Thana, what was your biggest financial mistake when it comes to owning cars?
I think buying cheap was my biggest mistake.
Oh, why? I thought cheap is good, man. Typical Chinaman say cheap is good.
and this is it. I know, being an accountant and watching American shows about, they come and repair cars, restore cars, and the cars are so, I save money, X amount of dollars for a car. That's your mindset. You think about, or you look at Buddha and you go and search low to highest. That's what we always do, and go for the cheapest cars. I think every car guy out there, Tony Tam, Yoshinan Sankar, you go online, you say, go to car list, low to high, and you pick the car. But the problem with that is you make a lot of sacrifices, and like Chris Wee is I would say is a serial car purchaser who knows how to buy cars and repair cars. Guys, you and I are not Chris Wee.
Well, we got hair still.
Yeah. We're not Chris Wee. We're not Chris Wee. Okay, so people like Chris Wee has got a sense for how much the car worth, how much you can buy it, how much you can get into the car for. When you buy cheap, used car at least, you tend to get in over your head, So if I want to share my story, my biggest financial loss in a car was 50,000 ringgit. That's what I lost on a car.
Whoa.
Yes, that's what I lost on a car. And there was a Porsche box. It was a Porsche Boxster. So I bought a Porsche Boxster.
986, right?
Pardon? 986. And I bought on the premise that it was 50K for the car to be running. The car had some issues not running. Paid the guy the money to repair, but end of the day, it could not be repaired for the set sum of money. So my money is stuck. I got a non-working car. It worked for a few days, but after that, the IMS bearing blew out. To me, yeah, and then one to another. So the car is now pretty much looking for an engine. My money is out. I spend more money to get it up and running. But the reason I got in that mess was because I was looking for the cheapest possible option. If I had gone and spent, let's say, extra 30%, or I got a running car, no issues. It's costlier, but you know what? You talk about the fact that I'll be enjoying the car from day one itself. The time I've lost not using the car and the money, it's a waste. So now when I look at a car, from a point of view of I pay $1. It's not what I get from the money I save, but what I get in terms of enjoyment. How can I use it today? Can I use it now? Enjoyment. Am I getting the best possible condition? If there's an Audi A6 on the market now, for example, now the Audi A6 has dropped in price. People are selling for about 60K up to 80K, and I would say buy the 80K version, because probably most likely that it's in a better condition, better parts, proper history. That 20K or 15K save is nothing, because one part could cost you 7,000 or 8,000, or easily it'll go off. So you're penny wise but pound foolish. End of the day, you end up making a mistake buying cheap, And to me, it was a 50K cost that I burned, but all not lost. That car is going to get a new engine. I'm going to do something mad with that car. So to me, it was take lemons and make lemonade. I'm doing that process with the car. But yeah, but never buy too cheap, unless you are prepared to throw the money away. If it's going to be a car you're going to use, don't buy cheap. Buy a car buy a car the best you can buy for the money you have. That's the best. Yeah,
the best. So you put down how much money you're willing to spend, and then you look for the best deal around that price range. Don't because
the best car you can get for the price.
Yeah, for the price yeah. So guys, we're talking about our biggest financial mistakes. Thana was sharing about how he's gotten his biggest mistake was to look for cheap car, but the cheap car doesn't mean that it's a good deal, right? And I totally echo you. Thanks to some of my friends from EvoClub, like Chris Wee, from like CL, like Adrian, then told Roger, they told me the same thing. Because I'm getting myself a classic, getting a BMW E30 318i. They told me, Thomas, you look for a car that's moving one, that the owner drives it on a weekly basis. Okay? Don't go and try to take a car and try to fix them up. You don't have that capability to do it. All right? It's cheaper. Everyone said I overpaid for my car, right? I paid 30K for my car. I could have got it for 20K, 15K, 18K. But yeah, you're right. I don't have the skills, all right? No, I don't have the ability to assess immediately what I need to fix, so how much the actual price is. So if the car is, in fact, I even brought Roger, who was so kind to follow me there, and he told me bro, this car have minor issues. You pay a few thousand ringgit, you can get the car into good condition. And it wasn't cheap. This car was a premium.
Yeah.
But it's working. Okay, so don't ever go so cheap.
And in your case, for example, if you bought a cheaper condition car, you probably wouldn't have been able to drive that up Genting for a year to get to a point that you were confident to drive it up. But now you bought the car, immediately after you bought it, you went to Genting, you went here, you went places with the car. Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Or the money you used to buy the car, you could have used to buy a property that gives you the money, or you can flip a property to buy a better car, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Where sitting in the garage, because now you can't sell it, the engine is broken down, or something is not working that you can't even sell it.
Yeah,
that's even worse.
Like me, I got money stuck in an asset that's there. I mean, it is value. There is value in the car. Definitely, there's a value in the car, but I'm not using the asset. It's not appreciating. No interest. Nothing. I'm not enjoying it. I can't see the car. I can't buck it in my porch. Nothing. It's a waste. So if you can't use it, it's a waste. If you got 5 cars in the car that are not being used, it's a waste. So don't buy cheap.
Absolutely. Okay, I got some questions over here. What about maintenance for X1, and is there any problem? Do you have any issues? I'm not a big fan of like X1s. What do you think about X1s? Brendan is asking that.
X1, I would say buy the older model. When it comes to the rear wheel drive, it's more engaging. I think the newer X1 that I drove, I didn't quite like the way it handled. I didn't quite like the interior wasn't quite nice. yeah, I mean, the older one, I just felt there's so much luxury in it. That's just me, you know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my personal difference.
Oh, I never got to drive the old X1, but it reminds me a bit of the F20 hatchback, the 118i. I used to have one of it, and it drives like a coupe.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Like imagine that the X1 go like that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it comes to maintenance about BMWs. I think it's a misconception about and they're expensive. I think BMWs are one of the cars that have got a very big following, a very big support network. How to service them? Mechanics out there. There are probably more mechanics servicing BMWs than Audi, for example. You know, so you want a safe car to service. A BMW is a way cheaper car to buy than, let's say, an Audi. You know,
if I'm going to throw in advice as well, if you're going to buy a second-hand BMW or buy an older car, before you buy the car, find a mechanic that will take care of your car, a mechanic you can trust. You know, yeah, I think that's important. That's really important. When I got in my E30, I was glad that I have a support system around me that could point me out like what I have to fix. You know, when I have that E30, all right, that's really important.
Like Thomas, ask you a question. Like,
yes.
do you have a mechanic for each one of your cars?
For my Spider, I actually service at Prestige. They take care of me really well. But the reason I send it there because I want the EvoClub extended warranty. For those of you guys who have cars that want warranty and it's no longer warranted anymore, you can send them to EvoClub warranty. You can go to evomalaysia.com. You can find out more details about it. So I send it there. Okay. For my E30, I send it to Aurizn. Aurizn at LSS Service Center. He is a guy that is a car. I mean, for me, it's like I like the fact that the chef eats his own food. Aurizn has a lovely 987 Boxster. He drives a lot of it. He drives 997. He has an old, beautiful Volvo 240. W204. And he appreciates the E30 so much, and he's very happy to see my car. So he really gives me a lot of suggestions before I make any repairs for my cars per se. So yes, I do have that. I do have now my two cars have different mechanics per se.
I think that's a very important point because a lot of people have a tendency of going for the most convenient option or where they are familiar with, but you will quickly realize that what I call that certain cars need specialists. This is the way it is. You just got to find the best car for best mechanic for the car. Join a car club. Like if you come to Evo, the Evo car club, a lot of them are car guys. They'll let you know where to go, where they're going. Recommendations.
Absolutely.
You need to have a specialized mechanic for each one of their cars.
Absolutely, and it's knowledge lah. It's information makes things easier. But if we keep hearing just hearsay and rumors, it's very difficult for us to say, oh, everyone has this impression like BMW is a bad car. No, it's not. In fact, it's not that difficult to take care of most. It's just a lot of hearsay. Okay. But anyways, we're talking. Yeah. But anyways, we're talking. Sorry.
Do you know what I hate the most? When a mechanic says,
the
mechanic says, "I think this is the problem." Because I literally told them, "I don't pay you to think. I pay you to know." because this is the fact. Just sorry to cut you there. Because some mechanics, they'll go through the process of, I think this is a problem. Let's try this. No, doesn't work. Let's try this, and they go through the process. But the fact is, what I call most mechanics, most issues with the car, they can go through the process of diagnosing where is the flaw, and they can tell you, Thomas, the problem is this, and that guy is spot on, 100%. That's the problem. That's the price you pay, and that's what you pay for. You're not paying a mechanic for the labor to install. You're paying the mechanic for labor to think that diagnostic.
Yeah. And you're right. You're absolutely right. When I have my BMW 118i, my turbo had some issues. And every time I send to BMW's service center, cannot solve. I send it to this guy, so-called, he used to train people in BMW, right? And then he drove my car, 2 minutes is like, sensor off. Took my car in, change sensor, done, finish. I'm like, what? That's it? Right? So yes.
And then again, it's because he's got experiences in that particular car.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah. And I don't know how he does it, but he tekan, then the error signal came out. It's like, okay, should be a sensor. Then he took it home. He said, give me like 1 day, I'll fix it for you. Then next day he called me, bro, car is ready, come and change it. That's the thing. You want to network around to meet the right people. And usually when you're in a car club, they can always point you to the right mechanic. So you want to buy any car, I think it's important for you to hang around the right people. And again, you guys want to find out more about EvoClub, which is amazing. You can sign up at club.evomalaysia.com. Okay. So hi guys, hi Bobby's here. Bobby, hey Chris.
Oh.
Right. All right. Hi guys.
Yeah.
Come on, give us some. If you're enjoying this content so far, please give us some likes, some love. I want to see some loves or likes. And if you feel that you're angered by our comments, give us some hate. It's okay as well. We can take it. You're YouTubers. We got it. All right.
I want to pick up a comment Bobby said. I want Con to buy BMW M. I also agree that Con is to buy a M.
Jeez, man. Yeah. You should totally do it. Okay, I want to talk about my biggest financial mistake. Okay.
What?
Now my financial mistake is a bit different. My financial mistake was I was desperate to find a car. That was my financial mistake.
Okay.
So I had a BMW M235i, which some of you know is the V-Soya M235. I love that freaking car. Okay. I could drive like a lunatic, and the car is rear-wheel driven, turbocharged. It was just like an E46, just better. All right. I sold that car because the car was giving me issues that I couldn't solve. The car was a myriad of issues. The car got flooded, the engine like exploded. I changed a new engine, but everything else had a lot of issues, right? But I let go of the car because I was thinking like, if I don't sell it now and then, right, and then I probably couldn't sell it later. Like maybe more problems will come up. So I bought myself a C43. It's a nice car. Wait, the C43 is a good car. Let me. For those of you AMG guys, hold on. It's a great car. Okay, it's a great car. I just didn't bond with it. I just like to drive a little bit like a lunatic sometimes. Okay.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say that on camera, but so yeah, it was a car that that I thought was a great buy, but it wasn't something that I truly enjoy. So as a result, when I sold my M235, I was during MCO. Okay. Someone actually paid a deposit to buy it at a higher price. The MCO came up, they pulled a deposit out, and then I got to sell it much lower. I got to sell it. I bought it for 270K, and 2017, I sold it at 170,000. Not the depreciation that I expected, right? So I had a loan on the car at the moment, and that time my loan was still 190,000, so I had to still pay off 20,000 to sell it off the car, right? And then to buy the C43, I had to put in 10% down payment, or no, that time 20% down payment for the C43. So after driving the C43, I actually didn't enjoy it. Then I got to sell my C43. I got to pay money to get rid of the car as well. Okay. And now when I get my E30, I just don't want to sell it. I love the E30, man. So much. So dumb. Yeah, I drove around Damansara. I just terrorized some people. But the point is don't be desperate into going to a deal. Make sure you're fully satisfied. Don't let the salesperson pressure you. Don't let other things pressure you, because you're going to live with the car every day. You're going to drive it every day. You're going to drive it up Genting Highlands, or you're going to go to the shopping mall. You're going to go everywhere with it. If you don't like it, just don't do it. Make sure you take your time, ask questions, network with people, ask them how it's like to own this car. It's more tedious, but think about it. You're going to service a loan if you're going to buy a loan, or you're going to drive the car every day. You got to make sure you like it, right? So that's my biggest financial mistake. I didn't enjoy the car, and I'm paying almost 3,000 ringgit plus per month, right? I'm paying road tax of 2,000 plus a year. I'm paying insurance of like 7,000 plus a year. And by the way, those of you guys who want insurance, EvoClub insurance, save money 40% up to insurance. Thanas said you can save more. Okay?
You raised a good point there. I mean, like about buying cars and what car you want to buy, and what the salesman tells you. Like one thing I noticed was when I was looking at cars, we go online, we see Bobby and Con and all these YouTubers out there who are talking about cars. Even myself, I review cars, and everybody's got a different point of view, and just to show the facts of the car, how much horsepower it is, that's not nothing, but they tell you about the feeling they get when they drive the car. Everybody has got a different emotion, experience in the car, and the fact is, only you are the best person to understand what car you want to get. When you ask me like, what car should I get? I'm like, what do you mean, what car should I get? It's up to you, bro. You got to feel the car. You got to go and see yourself, drive it, make that decision about, can I see myself in this car for 5 years or 4 years, people tend to buy what's in theme, what's what's popular versus what they
Yeah.
actually want. Yeah.
Correct. What you actually want, actually go and do some research. Talk to people who own the car. When I was going to get the Spider, Bobby actually connect me to STM Rock. By the way, shout out to STM, Alex STM Rock. Alex actually owns a Spider in Mallorca, and that gave me that 1 hour conversation with him, having coffee, gave me so much clarity on what exactly am I getting myself into. Network, guys. Network is so important. Don't just listen to the journalists. Like, we give you an insight of how it's like to drive the car, first impression and stuff, but we don't live with the car. Let's be honest, we don't live with the car, right?
Yeah.
And then we just have that, like me and Bobby talking, we have the honeymoon phase, It's like, you just have that honeymoon phase with the car, but after a while, you have 3 years with this car. What are you gonna do with it, man? 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So there's so many questions over here, guys. If you're enjoying this, we're talking about our greatest financial mistakes. Thana's mistake was to buy cheap. My mistake was to be desperate into going into a car deal, all right, to buy a car, right? Be desperate and being too fast into buying a car, all right? So let's go into another question, all right? If by the way, if you're enjoying this content, please give us some likes, all right? And share this content if you know somebody who is looking to buy a car, all right? Let's talk about another one. Next question. New or used? I know you're an accountant, you're CFO, your accountant background, but you are also a car enthusiast.
Yeah.
New or used? What's your advice?
Always used. I never buy cars new.
Why? People say that people fondle the car already, not new, no virgin anymore.
Well, I'm okay with that. I can okay with it. Because some of the car may not even start, you see. So
hold on. Bobby and Chris, they're here, right? What do you guys think? New or Bobby is F new cars.
Fuck new cars, sorry. Yeah.
HP, what do you think? Aurizn team, what do you think? Okay, I'm not gonna show his comment because we're gonna publish this, Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
anyways, okay, new or used? Why used then? Why used, bro?
I mean, it's if you talk about anything with financials, you talk about leveraging your cash. We talk about taking loans. We talk about buying the best car we can get money. I mean, everything in life we want to leverage, and buying used is a form of leveraging, because you're taking on a bit of risk for a lot more gains. So if I can buy, let's say, a brand new S60 for 300K, the same 300K, I can get a whole better car. If it's like even a 2 or 3 year old 300K car, I could probably buy, I don't know, maybe a X5, So I guess what you gain is much more. The only people who can't buy used cars, people cannot get over the fact that cars have issues, cars have problems. If you've been through all the repair issues and warranty, and again, with the EvoClub insurance, we got warranty extension. So again, why do you even worry? If we talk about, let's say, Porsche, if we buy from Porsche Malaysia, you can even get Porsche extending warranty from Porsche itself. So there's a lot of options. If you talk about Nissan, you can go to Nissan itself. So a lot of options out there in the market today. It's not like before.
Would you say that the money that you saved from buying the car, you use it to repair the car? Would it still be worth it?
Nah, impossible. I mean, I spend quite a bit on my Audi, but and to modify and do all that stuff, it's nothing compared to the amount of money I've saved buying used. I bought the car. I bought the car 3 years old, a car, and I saved 50%.
So the new car is like 400K, isn't it, or 300K?
300K, yeah. I bought
so
150K.
So let's say you got to spend 20K to fix up the car. Still okay, right?
Still okay. And to me is this. I mean, I'm a person about, like, for example, when you were dating and falling in love and stuff, what's the best part of the process? It's the hunt, isn't it? Falling in love and repairing the car. I love being in a mechanic shop. That's me. So to me, it's the hunt. It's like to get to know the car, what's wrong with the car, to understand how can I make it better. That's part of the fun. To me, getting a clean sheet, the car's new, like, okay, now what? I will get bored from there.
For you though, bro, Thana, I think about a question that most people want to ask. Because someone asked here, Rion De Jong asked like 90% car use. Okay, used cars got all these hidden problems, right? Isn't it? So how do you deal with this? And if you
So
guys
Bobby
know how
Ong
to
just
deal
replied
with
down
like
there.
these hidden problems with cars, please share
Yeah,
as
Bobby,
well.
yeah, Bobby
Yeah.
just replied there. That's why EvoClub inspection centers help you check.
Yeah, guys, seriously, if you're if you're a car enthusiast, okay,
Yeah.
and you want to buy used cars, there are, you see, one thing that Bobby shared, right, that really inspired me is that he said that he wants Evo Malaysia to be a one-stop shop for car enthusiasts. Okay, and that includes buying second-hand cars. Send it to EvoClub inspection centers. Let you find out like what's wrong. Okay, if the person selling you the car doesn't want to let you inspect the car, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something wrong already. Okay,
Mm.
so yes, when I bought all my used cars, I make sure that I got a mechanic to check my cars or get somebody who is experienced to take a look at the car before even I buy it.
Yeah.
Don't rush into it. Remember, like my biggest mistake I make financially is to rush into a deal.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
some people are very trained. Like myself, I go to see a car, I bring my OBD connect devices, I plug in the computer, I check myself. But not everybody can be like Chris Wee,
Yeah.
who got
Even
experiences.
Chris Wee told me that before he got a certain car, like the Citroen, he was going to get Citroen, he made sure that he found somebody who can actually fix the car, maintain the car, and get it.
There you
You know, all these are pre-planning. So used cars, yes, they do come with this set of like issues, but you're not alone. You have a community, you have tools, you have things you can leverage on. Yeah. But I would say this, though, my opinion is always try to get used cars, because look, every dollar you save, right, is not dollar you spend only. Every dollar you save is a dollar that you put into investments. Every 100 ringgit or 200 ringgit that you do not spend on the monthly installment, you can put it into a unit trust that gives you a 5% return, right, or 4% return if you put it conservatively, right? So don't only think about like yes, there is a benefit of getting new, right? Is it worth losing? Okay, if the question is okay, if it's okay for you to lose that opportunity to invest, then fine. Maybe some people are okay with it, but I'm not okay with it. I want to make sure I keep growing my wealth so that I can keep enjoying better cars. I can donate more money to charity. I can support more people. So make sure that. So for me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it just to pay additional 20% where I can save that 20% for something else.
It's like me, what I call, I always put myself onto a stress. I can buy a new car, I can afford it, but I'll buy a used car. I can take a 9-year loan, but I'll take a 5-year loan. I can afford to take loan of 90%. I'll take loan of 60%. So because I put more money into my savings. So that has always been me. Yeah. If I want to pay X dollar car, I'll make sure I find a way to earn that money to be able to afford the car. So I use the car as a way to motivate me to achieve targets. That's why I love cars. It's a goal.
Same, man. Same, bro.
Yeah.
Just like that. And I think to anyone out there who and I think I'm going to change a little bit on topic, like anyone out there who is thinking about like, hey, I want to own this car, but I'm working for someone who don't have enough salary to actually eventually own the car. I just want you to know that actually I was like that. Okay, when I was working in a hotel, I could only dream to even own a Ford Focus ST. Okay, but either you can say your circumstance today cannot allow you to buy the car, and you forever forget about it, it's just a dream, or you change the circumstance. We always have ability to change our circumstances. Okay.
Now, talking about that, let me ask you a question. You talk about dream. How do you define dream? I mean, I hear a lot of guys who say, "Oh, I dream of buying this car, buying an MGT. I dream of this, I dream of that." And the word dream is being thrown around very easily. So the word dream is, I look at it two folds. One fold is dream as in it's a fantasy. Dream as in this is your dream, your desire. How much are you going to? What can you do to make it happen?
So I think it's very simple to see. Okay. If a car has been bugging you for more than a year, if you're going to Muda and checking for the car every single 2-3 days, there is more than just a dream. You actually really want the car.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for me, like the Boxster haunted me since 2015.
Yeah.
Right. I drove that car, and I just every time I see those two lights, I pray it's a Boxster. But it can be a Panamera, it could be a 911, it could be a Cayman, So yes, okay. But the point I'm saying is that sometimes you may arrive at a car and realize that's not the car that you wanted. For example, the Ford Focus ST is not what I actually wanted. My first car I gotten outside of what I thought was possible was the 118i, the BMW. But I think that it's okay to have a dream. It's good to have a dream. It's good to have something to work towards too. But don't ever be intimidated by how big your dreams are.
Yeah. Work towards that,
Yeah, don't be intimidated. Get educated. Talk to people. Get mentoring. Okay. Talk to people who actually done it. All right. Don't just, like if you stay in your shell, like you stay at home and you talk around other people who are employees or other people who say, don't lah, too difficult, then you never get there. But you want to talk to people who actually broke out of it. So hang around the right people. Jim Rohn, he's the late Jim Rohn, one of my favorite mentors. Books I've read a lot from him. You're the average of 5 people you hang out with. Okay. When I told my mentor I wanted to own a Ford Focus ST, he told me, forget about it, get a BMW. He's a BMW lover. Okay. But he told me, and for me, it's like it's such an insult, because for me to even think of a Ford, it was like, but he's telling me, what he's telling me is, Thomas, you have the ability to generate any sort of income so you wish to do. The question is, are you committed to it or not? If you're committed, you can find a way. If you're not committed, you'll never find a way. So people always hope for the circumstance to come first, but you should be creating the circumstance for yourself. Because we are creative. Human beings, we are creative. We can always find a way to solve problems. Okay? But if we convince ourselves the problem is bigger than us, we can never solve the problem. But if we say that, yes, I can, and there's a hashtag, there's something I put up there, one day I may. Right? I always tell myself, one day I may. If I can't buy it, one day I may. Right? Okay. So I hope this is a good advice or so on and so forth. You can find. I just hope this supports people. Okay. Don't change your dreams. Change the circumstances, because we have the ability to change the circumstances.
I mean, if you hear Kardok on how he bought his, at least he shared on his channel. He said for a whole year he didn't buy any new clothes. He didn't wife. He used back his same T-shirt. He didn't go out for Starbucks. He was so determined to buy his at least. That was it. And so yeah, it's about being driven to get what you want. Work for it.
Yeah, work for it. Don't be afraid to work for it. Don't be afraid to be creative with it. But the creativity follows any possibilities. If you say that can, the creativity will follow, right? But if you say cannot, then the creativity also will work to convince you cannot also, right? Yeah. So one day I may. Bobby said this, right? Life can only be deeply measured by how many times your soul have been deeply stirred. Absolutely true. Get your soul stirred, guys. Right? That's all I can say. All right. I hope you find value with this. We're talking about our biggest financial mistakes, but now it's gone to almost motivational. All right, guys. Let us know what you're doing right now. What are you drinking? Are you guys drinking something? Are you drinking water? Are you drinking tea? Or are you drinking something a bit more special? Let us know in the chat as well. What are you drinking? Okay. So we talked about biggest financial mistakes. Thana shared his one, buying too cheap. I shared mine, being desperate for a deal. We're talking about buying new or used. Both of us believe that we should buy used, because I believe that you can actually save the money for investments to fuel your lifestyle in the future, because this is a long run. You're going to drive many cars in the future, right? And Thana was talking about, you can get so much more for the budget that you set for yourself if you buy used. Okay, last one. Thana, you brought this up when we had the chat on WhatsApp. You said computing resale value versus intangible value. What is this? What is this about?
So I think a lot of guys ask me, oh, buy this car, what's the resale value like? And I actually did the maths. I actually went out and did some maths and downloaded what I call past year. I did the work, to see what car has got the best resale value. And I was just struck the fact that people are buying cars, keeping cars low mileage, keeping cars intact for the next person. It's almost like keeping your girlfriend this thing, so the next person can come and whack the fella, So I was like, guys, when you have it, use it.
That's a horrible anatomy, bro.
It is, in that sense, this is something that will stick in your mind, the car is there to be used. It's a machine, it's a tool. Use it. You should be thinking about what you can get, the value when you're using the car, opposed to what you get when you sell the car. When you sell the car, whatever, it's there or not, secondary issue. It's what you get. You have the car. How it serves your emotion, as what Bobby says. So if it doesn't serve a purpose when I'm using it, forget it. No resale value in the world will make me buy it.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I think sometimes we get so caught up. I think it's interesting you brought this point, since you are a financially inclined person. And guys, Thana is a CFO for MNC, and he's finance is his whole life. But he's talking about something really interesting. In life, right? We don't really measure life, we don't measure our life by how long we live, right? We measure our life by what emotions have been brought up during that experience, those in the years that we live, right? And all this is actually the value, part of the ownership of a car. So if you actually spend so much money owning a car, but yet most of your emotions is around fear. What if I lose value? What if this? What if that? Man, that's not I would say is maybe not, it's healthier for you not to own the car unless the car is an investment. Unless it's an investment. Some people actually buy car for investment. Okay. Right? If you buy a 918 Spider, which by the way, thanks Chris for selling me his Cap 918 Spider. It's actually an investment because it actually went up in value, right? So yes, then don't drive the car, right? If it's an investment, be an investment, right? But if you buy the car and you know that your soul is calling you to drive the car, drive it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, people talk about buying a car. There's a guy out there, I won't say who talks about buying a used car instead of buying a new car. Anybody who buys a car on loan is a poor man, And I think you already know that article. And a car is not an investment. Simple as that.
Most cars are not investment.
No, all cars are investment. Simple as that. If it gives you some returns or investment value is there, that's a bonus. That's a plus point. But all cars, all vehicles are a tool, a machine. They are not investments. You want to invest properly. The same way you look about a house, People talk about houses. The place you stay is not an investment.
Absolutely.
You know why?
Right.
Whatever money you make from the property is gone. You'll never sell it. You're staying there. It's money burn.
Even if you sell it, you gotta move somewhere else. You gotta move somewhere else. Yeah.
You buy a property to stay because like the environment, like the house, the chi is good, the yin yang is good. That's about the height. When you buy a property to invest, that's for investment sake. The same way, don't confuse cars as investments or resale value, or that's just bullshit, man. It's utter rubbish.
So what you're saying is that if you're buying it for this purpose, let it be for this purpose. If it's for enjoyment, let it be enjoyment. If it's a human carrier, be the human carrier. Stop thinking about resale value, etc. Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
That's a good one. But I will put in something a little bit extra, if you don't mind. Is this that?
Sure.
Try to look at your exit plan when you buy your car. Right?
Oh yeah. Well. And that's to do with how you do your loan structure, obviously.
Yeah. So it's not so much of an investment anymore. You're looking more of like looking at loan structure. Longer is not always better. Try to look at a point where if you need to sell off the car, can you sell it off with minimal effect on your lifestyle? Can you drop the car without actually saying that your life will get into a huge challenge because you have to sell this car?
Yeah.
Right. So just be careful with that. And this is why I love used cars, because generally that become less of a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, but Bobby say cars is for us to move around, make people make money, earn money. Yeah, cars are printers. Yeah, so treat it like that, right? I bought a Lexus at the same price. HP say my friend bought Citiban for a trip. He also bought fragrance because I have a natural fragrance in my car. What the hell? Okay,
I'm confused.
Okay, but anyways, that's important. Important, right? So don't, if you're buying a car and you're thinking about resale value of the car, it's not a great feeling to have, just being fearful around your car. Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, thanks for tuning in. We are in Top Gear. We're going to take a little break right now. We'll be talking about our biggest financial mistakes. It's going to take a quick break right now, and then we're going to come back and talk about financial tips. How do you save up, and what are the best? I believe saving is not the best way to actually attain your dream car. That's my tip. I'll share more about it later on. Okay, not to save to own your dream car, but there are other things. And Thana, I'm sure he has a different point of view. Probably have a little bit of debate as well going on. So we're going to go for a quick break for like for 30 seconds or 1 minute. I'll be right back. Right now, we're going to put you on a quick advertisement break. Simon.
Saving about 500 bucks. It save about 1,000 plus.
To work out cheaper for me.
4,000.
215, even more.
It's worth for 200 plus. 400 bucks of savings.
Hey guys, welcome back. So we're going to talk a little bit more about, we're talking this episode in Top Gear 2, talking about half the money, talking about our biggest financial mistakes. We're also talking about tips on how to manage your funds so that you can eventually own your dream car, okay? So this is primarily targeted to general people, okay? I know some people out there who are watching this live, they're like, they really have the cash to buy whatever car they want in their life. But I'm talking to people who are like me, who I used to work for a hotel. I used to make around 3,800 ringgit a month, and all I could dream about is a Focus ST, and I would settle for a Focus. But it actually changed my mind what I can actually achieve if I actually approach it differently. Okay, so we'll talk about financial tips to owning your dream car. Okay, so Thana, what are your financial tips to owning your dream car for the audience who are listening to us?
I guess don't put a barrier in how to achieve the dollar value. I mean, like people say like, oh, I know, like when we look at cars, we always say, oh, you know what, I can't get this car because it's too old, no loan. Can't get this car because of it's this and that. You know, forget all that. You know, I always feel that don't begin your search by putting limitations. You know, begin your search by saying what you actually want. So if your desire was to buy, let's say, a 987 and you can't get a loan, that's fine. Find others to get a loan. Maybe it's saving up and taking a personal loan. And all the better. You don't pay, they can't take a car away, you know. Maybe, you know, there's a lot of other ways to finance your cars, you know, not only through those means, you know. And also to have a quick think about what you spend on. You know, it's funny because people spend 8 ringgit, 10 ringgit on Starbucks every day, which amounts to a big dollar value end of the month. But I asked them back, you know, are you really determined to buy the car? Are you really, do you want that car badly enough? What are you going to let go? You think about it, you let go a lot. You know, guys who are truly car guys, you've been surprised to know that they don't spend much on other stuff because we are determined to get that car. You know, we'll do whatever it takes, earn the extra shift, put the money aside, you know, every dollar counts to get to that car, you know, think about it. And I also believe in words, you know, if you dream it, if you say it loud enough, the world, the universe will come towards you to grant your wish. You know, it'll come towards you. That's all that's to it. But if you don't start the effort of, let's say, putting up the deposit money, okay, I'm going to put a separate account to put the money aside, or if there's no plan towards it, you know, without a plan, you'll never get there. You just can't say, I want it. That's why I asked the question. When you say dream, how to say a dream? Dream can be defined as having a fantasy, or dream can be same as what called, that's my dream car. I want that so badly. I'll do towards everything. I'll put on a paper. I'll plan out, deposit, installment, A to Z, you know, plan out, talk about it. If you are not the subject matter expert on the car you're dreaming of, you are a coward. You don't deserve to buy the car. Simple as that. Any guy out there who says, I want to buy an X car, and I asked him, do you know about this, about that, or the car, common issues, whatever? They said, no, I don't know. Then you are infatuated by the car, by how it looks, but you're not dreaming about that car. You're not dying for that car. You know, someone who wants the car badly, they go to every forum, every Facebook post, every picture. They will know the car inside out. You know, and trust me, you'll get it.
That's cool, man. I mean, like you're saying about you're talking about you're talking about infatuation, and that's the word I caught earlier. So the difference is, are you just keeping as so is to find out whether it's infatuation or whether it's something that you're really working to. Because you're right. Because a lot of people I know, I mean, I've coached, mentored, I've talked, I've spoken to people. I mean, in business, but they're always people sometimes use they create all these things that they want as a sort of fantasy because they know they can never achieve it. They just use it as like that's what, and they have all these reasons why you cannot achieve it. But there's another kind of people who says this is what I want, I'll do it. Period. There's no discussion. I'm going for it, right? So usually infatuation is this drama about getting something you want, right? This drama around it, and all these reasons, and because I'm this and that, and whatever reason you cook for yourself is always true. I believe you're the most powerful person in the world. If you say that you cannot own this car because of your current situation, you're right. You're absolutely right. You will be right. We are always right. But if you say that I will find a way eventually, then you will find a way eventually, right? Even if you don't know what the way is, right? You know, and if you are, and I remember, and you're right, Thana, because at one point I was infatuated with the Boxster as well, because I remember seeing the Boxster showroom in Bangsar Shopping Center. I walk around the showroom, never even approach it. I don't want to know the price. I don't want to know what it's like to maintain the car. I just want to keep it a dream. Right? I was infatuated with it. You're right. You're absolutely right. But if you really want it, you dive into it. You charge straightforward. The price doesn't scare you. The maintenance doesn't scare you. You just figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You just figure it out. All right? Okay. Bobby is saying financial tips of owning a car. Right? Divide 30 days, 100 ringgit per day. Yeah, that's true. Actually, it's that simple. The thing is that you just have to put the numbers down. You got to have a plan, like Thana said. You got a plan to actually acquire the car, rather than looking at the current circumstances and you can't. Okay.
And also, I guess I think a partner which understands you helps. If you're married, if your wife follows you on your dream, that also helps, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Friends, family, right? Mentors who believe in your dreams. That's important, man. That's important. It's very hard to find mentors who genuinely believe in your dream, believe that you can, and that's very important. To find someone who believes that you can.
If the guys who are discouraging you from doing your dream, change your friends.
Yeah, because I agree with you, Thana. I hope this advice goes out. People usually project their world point of view upon you, right? And when I told my friends I'm going to quit my job and get into direct selling, which is my first thing I got into, people thought I was crazy. In fact, my cousin, they thought that I'm giving up my career to sell this, get into this weird industry, right? It's about, you can't change your family members, but you can change who you hang around with, right? But the point I'm saying is that I like what you said, man. Like if this is something that you want, charge fearlessness, feel like just charge into it. Go find out more about it, hang around it, go and talk to people who own the cars and stuff like that. Okay, but I will give another financial tip though. I don't think saving is the best way for you to get the car that you want, because you will not enjoy saving. Saving is about cutting your costs only, right? It's not expanding your world. Okay, here's the truth. There's inflation. You're always going to have inflation in as long as we live, right? So if we're going to cut our costs, okay, the best we can do is give us a little bit more. You got to find a way to increase your income. Okay, any way means possible. There's investments, right? There's part-time hustles, right? For those of you who are looking to find ways to increase your income in a very look, there's a really interesting business model. Check out EvoClub Car Wash. Okay, I know I'm like shamelessly plugging in here, but I'm serious. There are many areas that are unserviced with so many cars in one house. If you drive up to your car to the one house, you can service. I'm not asking you to clean the car. I'm asking you to eventually hire people to run those cars as well. Okay, and the thing is that you got to find a way to increase your income. Period. If you want a car that you really want, just find a way to increase your income. Okay, whether it's through entrepreneurship, whether it's through find part-time jobs, find business partners. You know, whatever it is, you got to find a way to increase your income.
Yeah, saving to salary, I think it's almost an impossible feat unless you earn enough, because I mean, you'll find a way to fit that space. Whatever you earn, you'll find a way to fit that space, and it's not possible. You got to find ways to have extra dollar value coming in. That's the only way.
Interesting here, right? Kaying actually says, like, my wife don't support my love for cars. Should I change my wife? Here's an interesting topic.
Change the car that you want to buy. Or to this. Wait, I got an idea. Got one. My wife is the one who asked me to buy the Audi. So we saw the Mercedes E-Class, BM, and the Audi, and then she said buy the Audi because it looked more fierce. And then and because she drove the car. And similarly, when I got the 4x4x4, she drove the 4x4. I get out at 4x4. So if you've got a wife that doesn't support your love for the car, get her into car clubs, go for the events, get her to drive cars that you feel passionate about, you know, because a lot of the times the wives which says don't support you for your love for your cars is because they think that car takes away time from you being with them. But if you show them the love that you have a car and you do together with them, and you work towards how do I buy a car for my wife that she might enjoy, a driver's car, I tell my dear friend, your wife will commit to a car person. You know, your answer is you're gonna buy a Miata. You're solved. The problem is solved.
That's solid advice, man. If you like what advice was given by Thana, give us some love, man. Come on, give us some love on Facebook. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
But what Thana was saying is that enroll them. People usually are afraid of what they don't know, right? Like if you don't know how to own the car, you're usually afraid, right? You know. But if your wife doesn't know why you love the car so much, why this car is so freaking awesome, why car clubs are so good, why is this car important for Thana's life, then people will, of course, reject. People always, out of fear, all right, the answer is always no.
I mean, you talk about a female and a male from a anthropology point of view. A male is seen as what called strongest male is what a female goes for, correct? The female, the job is to make sure that they safeguard the house. So if they see the car as being a threat to the income of the house, it's their job to fight back. But if you can prove that my income is secured, we're doing this, it's fine. I'm not going to spend my time driving my girlfriend in the car I'm buying while my wife's at home. You know, if she can be sure about all those stuff, trust me, she will buy into it. You know, it's the fear that actually that makes them not support you. You know,
but get them involved, right? Get them involved. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome, man. I love it. I actually love that advice over there, right? So we're talking about our financial approach. So for me, to own the dream car, first you got to know the numbers, right? Are you getting a loan? Are you buying the car, right? So what are you doing to actually make the car possible for you, right? So actually go and do all the research you need to know, and then figure out what options you have to increase your income, right? What options you have to increase your income. My camera is dead. I'm going to come back to my camera in a second. Right?
That's fine.
I'm going to change my camera, but I'm going to actually ask Thana right now. Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, there's many ways to increase your income. Again, you know, there are ways, like so many ways. Start a business.
I mean, when I was younger, I was working in a company, a tax firm, and I used to sell computers to the company that I worked for, and I used to repair computers in the company I worked for while working in the company. So, and I did that because I was the cheaper option. So a lot of hustles I did. You know, I used to go around, pick up used computer parts and repair them and sell them. I used to go on Muda, do a left and right, you know, buy here and buy there, you know. And I think the thing is, people think about, oh, you know what, if I do this job, I'll only make 100 ringgit or 200 ringgit. But that isn't the point. The point is, you got to go out and make 100 ringgit, you know. So challenge to every one of you. Can you, by this weekend, find a way to make 100 ringgit? And the only rule of thumb is, it's 100 ringgit that you can make that you weren't making before, and it's 100 ringgit that you can exponentially make. That means I can make 2 of those, 3 of those, 4 of those, and that makes you think about how do you make money that can be repeated. You can actually scale up, scale down, and that's how you start thinking like a businessman.
Yeah, and I think it's like the reason why that challenge is really cool is because when you are doing something outside of what you normally do, and you prove you can, suddenly what happens is like, hey, actually I can. A new possibility opens. So don't look at. See, I always tell my friends that, and I tell people I mentor, all right, and coach, the most the most valuable thing that came from me starting a business, all right, is not how much money I've earned, right? It's not only how much life I've impacted, but more importantly, is the person I became. When you make the additional 100 ringgit, okay, something will change inside you.
Yeah.
You suddenly believe that, hey, I can. I actually can do it.
It's the same thing you get when you go gamble. When you go gamble, you make 100 ringgit. You're like, you can.
No,
it's the same feeling. It's the same feeling you get, but take it out of gambling and apply it into business. It's the same kind of feel you get. That's why people gamble and they lose a lot of money because they think they can win. But so take an emotion and put it to work. It's an addictive drug. That's my point. Don't gamble, guys.
No gamble. It's not an investment. But I like the challenge, Thana, because when you're able to do it one time, what happens is that not how much money that went into your pocket, but what happens is that something changed inside you, and then you're like, hey, hold on a minute, I can do 100 ringgit in one day. Right?
This is a challenge. I was 21 years old, I remember, and me and my cousin one night were sleeping outside his house in his porch, and we said, Thana, challenge. No, I don't tell my cousin, Prakash, we're watching this. Tomorrow, we're going to make 50 ringgit somehow. That's a challenge. So what it was 3 in the morning. We drove to Samin Panai Indah. We bought nasi lemak, 1 ringgit packs. We drove our car to Genting, went to the cable car, parked our car outside there, and we sold nasi lemak to make 50 ringgit. It's a challenge if we can make it. And we made a profit of 40 ringgit. And it was a lot of work. We spent 3 hours to do it. But it was very rewarding because it was money that we didn't have before, and it taught us about how to approach them, how to sell, how to communicate with them. Kakak, mai kak, beli kak, whatever. So it's all skill sets. It breaks you down, and it kicks you out of your comfort zone. So yeah, it's a challenge, guys. Go out there, see how you can make 100 ringgit online. If it's a week you want to put a challenge to, make it a week. How do you make 100 ringgit the next 1 week online, which you weren't making before? To the medium altogether. Start thinking.
Great. I love that advice. So we're talking about, by the way, those people are tuning in, we're talking about how financial tips to owning your dream car. Both me and Thana agree that it's important for us to increase our income so we can afford our dream car, and then actually plan it down. How much money you need to actually own the car, what kind of income you need, what kind of cash you need to put up front. Break that all down and put a plan in it. Okay. Put a plan in it. Okay. But we're going to go to another comment that Con talks about. But I will say this one last thing. I want to say this. It might turn some of you off, but I want to say it with love. Okay. I hang around with some car community, hang around with some of the things that have been posted in certain car groups. But I want to say this. If you see someone, I notice a lot of people, when someone affords a car or a certain very expensive car, there's sometimes a lot of comments coming out. Oh, must be cheat people money. Or you sort of say something bad about this person who's able to afford that car. What you've just done is that you created a new story, a scenario that you must be an a-hole to be rich. Being rich is a bad thing, okay? Maybe this person is an a-hole, we don't know. But what you've done for yourself is you created a scenario, okay? So that rich people are like this, okay? They're not good people. So you have two options. You have to be a bad person, which most of you wouldn't, because I know, right? Most of us don't want to be a bad person, or you will never become rich. So the moment you start judging and putting labels on people who are successful and rich, you actually create a barrier to success. So stop hating on people. Success leaves clues. Whether you do it bad way, good way, learn from them. Everybody has something that you can learn from. Whether it's a mistake, whether it's something that is good. But if you start judging, you lose our ability to discern, to learn. All of us are wise. We are born wise. All of us have the ability to judge and to discern. Okay, but if you start putting labels on people, we actually damn ourselves. Okay, because I noticed how much I actually talk bad about rich people, and I realized that's what's actually stopping me from actually becoming wealthy.
Yeah.
Okay, I always thought people who own sports cars are scumbags, right? So I have to be a scumbag to own a sports car, or I will never own one. So don't look at just the strategies, look at the stories that determine what your reality. Because remember this, we are the most powerful people in the world. Whatever story we say is true, is true. So I say it with a lot of love. Whenever you see someone who is successful, rich, owning a sports car, buying something new, or doing something great in life, what are the stories coming up in the head? And ask yourself this question. And I dare say this: who taught you this story? Maybe it's not even you. Someone installed that story in you. Get rid of those stories. Okay, your stories can be right, or you can be that person living life on your terms. Because I believe each and every one of us have the ability to manifest, to create something powerful in this world, and to enjoy our life to the fullest. Okay, so I'm saying this with a lot of love, right? I love you guys. Okay,
Yeah.
Right? Just don't wear Versace t-shirt about getting NATO shipped. That's what Bobby says.
Talking about that, have you seen the video about the guy who goes and asks people, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And he goes up to the guys in sports cars. Have you seen the video, Thomas?
Yep, I seen it. Yep.
Everyone he asked the question, they are nice to him. They say, "Yeah, I'm into property. I'm into so and so." So yeah. So again, you see a guy driving a 488. Hi, how are you? What do you do? It's a nice car. Compliment him. Be surprised how he'll be nice to you.
Yeah, and you never know. You never know. Like one day, this guy could be a person who opens up the doors for you, right? I believe relationship building is a big thing. Network is everything, man. Network, right? Talk to the right people, learn the right things, get access to the right information. Okay, cool. All right. I know this is a very like topic. I don't this financial tip. I hope is not exactly financial tip, but I hope this comes across as how much I want you to enjoy your dream car. Because
Yeah.
like Thana, like me, we both have our and I tell you, when you drive a dream car, your soul just gets set on freaking fire. Okay. And I hope that you can do as well.
Yeah, and my problem is,
And some of you may think like it's nice that someone give you the car, but I'll tell you something. If you go out of your way and you go out of the way and earn the money and buy that car, I tell you the feeling is different. It's different. Okay. Oh, Bobby, come on, man. What are you drinking? Yes. Jesus.
Oh.
I love you, Bobby. Guys, Bobby just put a very interesting comment, so I'm not gonna put it on the screen. Okay. Anyways, we're talking about financial tips of owning a dream car. I hope you're hanging out with us. You're enjoying your time. We got one last segment that's coming on after this, which is a fun segment. I know we passed 1 hour, but you guys seem to enjoy it. If you love this content, please give us some love. All right, and let us know if you should do this again. Okay. Shout out to Paulie, Pro Nano. We're going to work with Pro Nano, my car wash company. We're going to have contactless car wash from Pro Nano. Looking forward to that as well. By the way, Thana, so
Yes,
what's
sir.
the last word you give as financial tips to own your dream car?
So I think we were talking earlier about knowing the car, and you got to know your car's platform. And I have something here I want to show you. 1 second.
Okay, what's up?
Okay. This is one.
Okay, Thana is getting his stuff.
Sorry. I mean, it struck me. I want to show you this thing over here. So you know how we talk about you got to know your car inside out. So this actually is a 4x4 motor actuator, and what it does actually is you'll engage the 4x4 motor in a 4x4. So this solenoid will spin and will engage 4x4 or two-wheel drive or whatever, you know. And this is from a Ford. Now this actuator on a Ford Everest costs 2,000 ringgit. Okay. the same, and I wasn't willing to pay 2,000 ringgit for the particular part. And so what I did was I found out the platform itself, what the car is all about. And this is about knowing your car. You got to know your dream car. If the car is the car you want to get, you got to know the car itself. Then I found out the Sanyong Rexton was in the same actuator, and that was 1,100 ringgit. I said, wow, from 2K I went to 1,1. I wasn't satisfied. I keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper. Then I found out the Great Wall, the pickup truck in China, also uses the same actuator, because you must understand all cars are the same kind of parts bins. You're not talking about Bosch, talk about Continental. They all make car parts that are interchangeable, from ECUs that can be reflashed for other cars. The same ECU you buy for same ECU you buy for, let's say, a Ford Ranger, different for a Ford Everest, or for an Audi A6 compared to a A4, you know. But or a Passat, the same ECU, for example, but they are all flashed differently. Now, I bought this part for 150 ringgit. From 2,000 ringgit to 150 ringgit. The moral of the story is that when you have your dream car, you got to know the car inside out. You got to be the person to know what's happening with the car. The mechanics aren't the best person to answer about the car, because they see many cars in a day. You know, you got to go on forum and look at cars. And one of the most important thing about owning the dream car is, one, obviously, to know your car itself and see what are compatible. But number two is have another car. Because it may sound stupid, but how to save money is to buy another car. Because if I didn't have many cars, I can't park a car and think about it. Because when the car problem comes out, you're emotionally like, I need to fix it, whatever, swipe it, take, and go. But the moment you can park a car, walk back and reflect, you know what, and you're like, oh, you know what, this is the best option to do it, because there's many options, many mechanics to analyze to address the same problem. So even if you go down the right route of buying a 5,000 ringgit Sentra or Toyota, that's fine. Everybody should own a second car, because that gives you the flexibility or the freedom not to be choked by a mechanic, choked by addition, choked by forcing to repair a car now, instead of finding the best option. You know.
Yeah.
So
you put it. Just what I was saying earlier. Like, don't be desperate. Never be desperate.
Yeah. Don't make people make you desperate. You know. Yeah. So and if you do that, you'll be surprised. I mean, in my experience driving an Audi and stuff, I'm shocked how much I've saved. You know, people quote me 5,000 ringgit. I will repair for 500 ringgit. You know, like 10%, 20% of what is quoted for. You know, my air compressor from Audi was quoted for 40,000 ringgit. The compressor, I fixed it for 4,000 odd ringgit. So it's like 9%, 8%. So you'll be shocked when you have the freedom to sit down and reflect. You can get a lot of good deals in car ownership, you know, and that's a very good important tip to save money and be able to buy any car if you want, whether it's a Maserati or, you know, whatever Italian car you want, you can probably get one, you know. Yeah, but buy a second car. Yeah.
Secondhand, and then know your parts. All right, that's really cool.
Know your parts, know your platforms, how they interlink, you know, because very few cars are made independent by itself. Very few cars are made such a way that the car parts are not interlinked to any other car. Very few cars. Very few cars are standalone. Even your Porsche, for example, there are parts in your car. If you buy a part for a 981 Spider or Boxer Spider, the parts are different opposed to buying for a Carrera 3.8. Could be the same.
Correct.
You know, because why? It's a different premium. You know, the guys in the Audi club, they say like they buy a R8 plug and they swear by it. You know, and they talk to Mike. Yeah, Mike will say, "Thana, no, that's bullshit. Same plug, Thana, different branding, different color. You pay twice the price." You know.
Yeah. There you go.
So, there you go. So don't
be desperate. Don't be desperate, right? I got a fun segment coming up shortly. But I think that's really good advice, to actually know your car so you can find cheaper alternative to actually service your car without actually losing the assurance, because they're talking about the exact same part. Just like how Thana actually found out that he actually saved, probably he saved 90% just by knowing about his parts, right? Do research. Don't be desperate, okay? Don't be desperate, okay? And for those other people who are, I want to come back to people who again, like, to own your dream car, you need to command a certain kind of like income, okay, right? But depends what your dream car is lah. Some of your dream cars are very expensive. Some of you guys are happy with a like a old school classic, like a E30, or maybe it's an E36 and stuff like that, right? But what I'm trying to say is that so I'm going to come a little bit. First, I want to acknowledge Thana for mentioning the idea of actually knowing your parts. Okay, but I think like being able to increase your income allows you to then have the ability to even be okay if you have to repair your cars.
Oh yes.
Okay, let's be straight. All right, car ownership is not easy. Your car will break down. Okay, your car will break down. Okay, but you gotta have the ability to generate income so you can actually enjoy it. Okay, I'll leave with one last thing. Okay, I'll leave with one last thing, which is this. I have an interesting topic I want to share with you, Thana. I wonder how you think about this. Okay. There's nothing luxury about owning a luxury car when you have to keep working to pay its installments every month. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know about that. I mean, to me, when I commit to an installment, it's money I don't have anymore. So I don't really bother thinking about the money I don't have anymore. So yeah, I mean, I define luxury. I guess how I define luxury. To me,
I define luxury, but you don't have to work for it.
Oh, right. I'm poor, man. I need to work for money.
But the point is, I'm saying that it's just my point of view. I'm not saying yours is wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that when you make money with your first few business, that's great. Find a way to automate that business so that it gives you cash flow. So you take the cash flow too.
Okay. I mean, a lot of us will fight and kill for our family. A lot of us will do whatever it takes for our family. We were so determined because family,
Right.
We'll kill for it. If you buy a car that when you park the car and you walk straight and you don't look back, you have made a mistake. When you buy a car, you park, you look back and you're like, oh shit, that car is beautiful, man.
You do whatever it takes to protect the car. Yes.
And I do that to my car, and I still can't believe I own the car. It looks so beautiful, You will find a way to work for it. Because without the passion, without the drive, you cannot earn money. Because if you're earning a salary today in a company, every one of you have the ability to go up in promotion, have the ability to earn more, you have the ability to find opportunities in the company itself. But your eyes are closed. You know why? There is no drive or passion for you to find it, because there is nothing to make you hungry to fight it. If your mother is sick, if your wife is sick, or if, let's say, that's an extreme case, but if you want the car so much, you love the car so much, you will fight for it. So yeah, buy a drop-dead gorgeous car for you, not for the world. For you, what makes you feel good.
Yeah, and again, not what other people think is good for you. What you think is good.
Even if it's a Hyundai, because some people think Hyundais are beautiful, nothing wrong with that. Every car is beautiful to somebody, it's you.
Correct. Every car is beautiful to somebody. Okay, let's talk about beautiful cars. We're going to come back in the next segment. We're going to do an interesting segment. It's our first time doing it. It's called Dude, Where's My Car? We're going to put down cars that are weirdly designed and have weird reception by the public and the car community. And both me and Thana is going to decide which car that we're going to pick, and we're going to have to justify why we pick those cars, okay? And then that's the last segment of it. But I hope you got value from this segment. I know we're just having fun and chatting and just sharing our opinions. Basically, we're just having fun, actually. I don't know, Thana, you having fun, Thana?
Oh, yeah. Lots of fun,
having fun. Hope you find value with this. Give us some love, give us some likes if you're enjoying this. So we're going to go for a quick break, and then we're going to come back in 1 minute's time. We're going to do the last segment, which is called Dude, Where is My Car? I guarantee lots of laugh in this one. I put a lot of effort in this one. Hope you enjoyed this one, okay? Anyways, let's do a 1 minute break. We'll see you in a while.
Too much for me. What'll I do? What'll I do? What'll I do?
Oh, we're back.
All right. So we're back. Before we go on, I'll do one last advertisement. Oh, wait, we're going to go with this. Dude, where's my car?
Good work, Simon.
No, I designed this. I designed
it,
this.
okay.
Well, we designed this, but me and Simon designed this.
Okay, awesome, man.
So we're gonna do this segment, guys. It's called "Dude, Where's My Car?" So basically, we're gonna ask. We got 3 segments. We're gonna ask 3 sets of cars, and both me and Thana are gonna decide which car we will drive because these are very challenging cars. Thana is like, "Oh crap!
Oh, shit,
crap!"
man.
Okay, guys, feel free to join in as well. Give us your answers. What do you think as well? Okay, let us know in the comments below. What would you think? Because this is going to be really fun. Okay, so Thana, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, you're going to choose your car and be ready to defend why you're choosing that car. Okay,
Sure.
The only rule is that you must choose one car. Okay, cool. That's the only rule. Okay. All right, let's go. Would you choose a Reliant Robin
Oh, yes.
or a Proton Arena?
Robin.
Guys, what do you guys think? Which one would you choose? Why would you choose a Reliant Robin, man? Come on, why would you choose it?
Does it stir your soul? It does.
Really? Really?
Power, and you feel like you're gonna fall off the chair. So yeah, it's. I mean, it's a. If there was one in Malaysia for sale, I would buy it. I would really buy
Really?
it.
Are you kidding me? Guys, this is a record. Bobby says Robin. Guys, let me know what you guys think on the chat. I remember this as the Mr. Bean car, the car that Mr. Bean released around.
I love the Arena. It's actually overpriced, but the Robin is something that I would love to get. It's a fantastic. It's a quirky car. It's like Bobby's Fiat. It's never get driven, but it looks beautiful. You know.
I think every time you drive the Robin, every time you go in the corner, the only thing that comes in your mind, am I going to flip?
I mean, I also do bikes, so for me it's fine, you know. So yeah, you know, Robin, man, any day.
Jeremy says Robin, but I wear a helmet all the time. Okay, you know what? It takes a lot of skill to drive a Robin. Okay.
Yeah.
So you say a Robin, right? You're right. I'll pick a Robin because I drive an Arena. It wouldn't make me fun, and there's no fun in driving it. If I drive a Robin, right, I'm a freaking baller, right? I'm a baller. Okay, I'm a baller. I don't care what you drive. You drive a Ferrari, you drive a Lamborghini. I drive a Robin. I win.
And
right?
and that's a good point. You know, I think people think about cars that what do you call. I got to buy an expensive car to kind of be noticed or something that's a driver's car. Some cars are not expensive and can be very unique and, you know, mesmerizing to you, like a Robin. You know, I think Robin is fantastic. Beautiful car.
Yeah, beautiful car. Okay,
You
fine.
got
Both of us agreed.
Porsche Spider and a Robin. I'll look at a Robin.
Correct. Well, you got a point there. All right, cool. So this one is done. Robin, both me and Thana, we agree in the Robin. Okay, let's go. Next one. Okay, would you get an Aston Martin Lagonda shooting brake?
No.
Or this one, Mitsuoka Orochi.
Oh. Well,
guys, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat below. Which one would you think? Okay, Thana, which one would you choose?
I've seen the Lagonda in Harris Garage, and it's quite an interesting car, but the shooting brake, I don't know. I mean,
just look at it. Just look at it.
not a big fan, you know. But it is a 4-door, you know. Obviously, I think I'm forced to go with the Mitsuoka.
Why? You know the engine is basically it produces only 220 plus horsepower.
Body weight, I mean, power to weight ratio, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, you know the design of the Orochi is supposed to be a. Bobby says Lagonda looks like a squashed Lincoln Town car. It's supposed to be a monster. You know, it's supposed to be a monster. You know how Japanese people got this monster thing?
Yeah.
All right, so Bobby goes with Orochi. Ng Tzu says funeral car. No HP. You cannot buy a mini Austin. Okay, you got to choose one of his. Baldwin says this is a tough one, man. Which one would you choose? Okay,
I
So you
choose
say
the
Orochi.
I choose the Mitsuoka because I think the Mitsuoka, the only problem I see the Mitsuoka is the bumper. The bumper looks like it's trying to bite somebody. It's like a carp.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a monster. It's supposed to be a sea monster. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, so that's my only problem with the bumper. But other than that, the car looks not bad, and I would it's not
I
bad.
would go for, you know what? I would be choose differently. I would choose a Lagonda. You know, I mean, for me, like, at least I'm still a baller, right? Come on, it's a Lagonda, right? It's still a Lagonda because the interior is still freaking awesome. The car would look good if I'm inside the car.
Well,
Actually, no, both cars also. You know what? It's a
but
tough
the,
one.
but the,
I'm
but the
still
Lagonda,
like.
but the Lagonda has got like a perplex top, I believe. It's all like a panoramic roof, so you get a good view out of the Lagonda. So maybe that's one benefit. But nah, any day Mitsuoka, you know. Mitsuoka, man.
I'm gonna say.
Mitsuoka. Come on,
Right. I'll probably drive a Mitsuoka, you know, just to drive it around and see how people look at the car, and just like, you know, park my car at the coffee shop and sit down and drink 3 coffees just to see how people look at the car.
Buy the Mitsuoka, put on a Ferrari badge, and people think the car's melting.
Okay.
Put a sign there. Car melting. Do not touch. So yeah, it's a Ferrari.
Okay, guys, let me know what you guys think. Con says, can't argue against the Aston. Bobby says that Laguna is a piece of poop. Okay. You can fit an Orochi inside a Laguna. That's what Navin Raj says. Laguna looks baller. All right. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Last one.
Okay.
Last one. Of dude, where's my car? Would you get a Fiat Multipla? I mean, come on, look at that. Look at that. It looks like a frog.
It's beautiful, man.
Are you kidding me?
Have you said in the Multipla?
Or Renault Kangoo?
Have you said in the Multipla?
Okay, which one would you choose?
Multipla day in, day out.
Dude, it looks like a frog.
Simon, can you bring up Multipla's interior dashboard? show him how
Yeah, the dashboard is cool. I mean, come on. Okay, true story. My dad, when my dad was going to get us our first car when I was in college, I said, Dad, get us like something cooler, you know, like getting something cooler lah, you know, like a Toyota or Honda or some crap like that, or some, you know, get us something cooler, you know, like a coupe or something, you know. And my dad said, you complain some more, I'm gonna buy you a Fiat Multipla. And I was like,
okay,
because I will never get late in that car. No chance. Okay, let's see what people say. Okay, tell me why you choose a Multipla.
Multipla was one of the cars I was looking to buy anyway. I mean, I was hit honestly a couple of years back. Yeah, I was thinking about a Multipla.
To buy that car. Look at how it looks.
That's why I will buy it. Look how it looks. It looks so different. It's unique. It's different. It's the viewing point it's wide. It's nice. It's quirky. You know. I'll buy a Multipla, man. I would buy one. I would. Now that you mention it, I would go tomorrow online. I want to check out how much Multipla is. I may actually buy a Multipla.
Oh my lord!
I may buy a Multipla, man.
Okay, let's see. Henry says Multipla. A lot of people like Multipla. Bobby likes Multipla. All right. Jin says both. Lester says Multipla. Con says Multipla. Con, come on. You drive a Ford S Max. You can't say Multipla. All right. Derek says Multipla. Hong Kong use it as taxi. Sean says, why can't get late? The back seats look big enough. No, man. It's the looks, man. Come on. All right.
No. The bigger the space, the more you get late, man.
Okay, for me, both cars look very ugly. So this is like a big debate of mine. Like,
my friend had a Kangoo, and it was horrible. It was just a flat box. So yeah,
I don't know. I would still go with the Kangoo because at least it doesn't like stick out like a sore eye. You know, like that two little, you know.
It's so cute. Look at that.
Bobby says Multipla, you can have 2 girls in your front seat.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, so seems like most of you guys like the Multipla. Well, I think
When Thomas, you and I go to a used car the dealership, look at a multipla and test drive it.
you know what I heard my dad told me the driving experience is good, but the
Yeah.
looks, I just can't get over the looks, man.
See, look at the picture there. There's even a door handle on the windscreen. How cool is that?
What? There's a door handle on the windscreen?
Can you see the windscreen there? There's a door handle on that.
Are you kidding me?
Look at that. The door handle. The door handle. It's inside the car. It's where the at the below. Look at that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. But Bobby says multiply is a design masterpiece.
See?
Yeah, actually, Ravindran said something interesting.
What is it?
He said, Ravindran said, you won't get late with a Kangoo either. Actually, you're right.
But
okay.
You'll get notice in the multipla.
Yep. At least you get notice in the multipla. You know what? If I have to choose between these two cars, yes, this is a tough one. So you're pretty solid on the multipla, yeah?
Oh, but I'm sold. When you told me the multipla, I was sold. I didn't care what the other car was. It was multipla.
I'll go with the Kangoo at least. I mean, I can still like make it look like I don't know. Oh, these two are very difficult. It's very difficult.
Desire to fight your dad because your dad want to buy a multipla.
Yeah, he used that as a threat, and then I actually stopped complaining. I stopped complaining.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Multipla means you have extra money. Kangoo means you have no money. That's what Bobby says. Wow. Anyways, guys, that's the end of Dude, Where's My Car? It's completely spontaneous. I tried to find two cars that were extremely challenging, at least for me. But seems Thana kind of knows what he wants.
Yeah. The car needs to excite you, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at Muda. How much is a multipla?
Anyways, last question before you go and look at Muda.
Yeah,
okay, last question. Bonus question. Would you rather drive a 316 BMW with an M3 badge, or you drive a Toyota Altis?
Obviously, M badge. Fake it till you make it, bro. Fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it.
Man. I love it, man. Yeah, because I would choose the 316 because I can do slides with it. I don't give a crap what people think.
It's like this, like, you know, people have a hard time about putting badge on cars, you know, and they say, oh, that's not a true whatever, you know. And the fact is, everybody knows it's not an M. All everybody knows it's not an M, you know, but they're
Nobody
putting
cares, right? Like, look, if you're having fun in the car, like Henry says yes, 316,
Yeah.
Lester says 316. Yeah. Bonus question. How much does the multiplier cost, bro?
Not for sale, bro. That's how good it is.
Really?
Yes, bro.
Let's go find multiplier for you, man.
I kid you not. We got to go to a segment, man. Go look for a multiply and test drive it. And then you'll fall in love with it.
No.
My dream now is to buy a multiply.
How many guys think me and Thanas should go and look for multiply and drive it? If you do, go and please comment there. If you think that me and Thana should go and look for a multiply and go and drive it, let us know in the comments there if you think that we should do it. Okay. Anyways, we're coming to the end of this incredible segment. My camera has run out of battery again. I'm so sorry. This is a new setup for me. All right. But anyways, I hope you guys are getting value. If you're having fun, please give us some love, some likes. Let us know what you are enjoying about this segment over here. Let us know in the comments what are you enjoying it. And we're going to end this in the next 2-3 minutes. Please let us know in the comments as well what other questions you have for me and Thana. So it's the last opportunity for you to ask questions with me and Thana, right? Any questions you have left? Right, I'm getting my camera. All right, there you go. Okay, if there's no questions. Okay. Bobby is saying Con is actually typing all the things. Okay. Oh, so yes, we should do it. We should actually do it. You know what, Kana, let's go and after MCO is over, let's go and look for Fiat Multipla and let's go and find out
even if it means someone owns it and it's a viewer in EvoClub, you know what? If any of you owns a multiplier, please call Thomas or me. You're gonna do a review.
Lord.
You know.
Oh my Lord.
I want to show Thomas how good is the multiplier. His dad was right. Your dad was right. Multiplier is a good car. I want to prove to him how good is the multiplier, man.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. You know, let's do it. Let's do it. Last
You're
question,
going to be a proud owner of a
What's
multiplier.
what's next for you? What's the next dream car you're looking at right now?
You know what? I have a problem right now. My problem is that I'm finding cars to inspire me, and I just don't know what I want. You know, I got my A6. I'm happy with my A6 now, but I just don't know what car. Although I can afford to buy cars, I don't know what car do I truly want to get. And so it's a journey, and I'm telling myself, don't be desperate. Find the car that you really want to get. So the moral of the story is, even if you got money, the issue is sometimes you don't find the car that excites you. And like Bobby tells me, sometimes you might get the Porsche Cabriolet, you know, Carrera. I say, yeah, but maybe it's not my thing, you know. But so there's a lot of cars that have been thrown at me from other guys, but doesn't sink to my soul as how your 918 came to you and it caught your attention. Nothing has really caught my soul yet, you know.
I see.
And it's funny, right? I've seen so many cars.
Yeah, you do. You do look a lot of cars. Yeah. My next car. Let me know guys. Let me know in the comment below. What are your dream cars? I want to hear your dream cars in the comments below. All right.
My dream cars, man. I want to hear dream cars.
Yeah. My next car I'm looking at is either a Mini Cooper a 1969. I think it's so freaking cute, or a Mark II lah. Or I'm looking at a W123, Mercedes W123. 230E specifically, because my grandfather owned that car, and recently my grandma passed, so you know, it's a little piece of memory of both of them. I really want to own that one of that car, take care of it. Yeah. Thana Krishnan one.
Again, what?
Jeremy says GT3 997.2 GT3 manual. Henry says F10 M5.
He knows what I want.
Bobby's saying Alfa Romeo Disco Volante. That dude actually licked that car. He actually licked that car. No kidding. I saw that picture. I was like, what the heck? Chin Sui Ho says Mazda 6 wagon suits him. Baldwin says, no, Jensen says 991 Targa 4. Okay. All right. Sean says E46 M3 CSL. Wilson says F33 4. 428i, nice. Aston Martin DBS. Cheng. Derek says Passat B8, Toyota Mark X, nice Mark X. Lavok by Kailing. Con says E39 M5. Yes, Con, go for it. E39 M5. I'll hunt one for you. Right above Lester Wong. Okay. Thanks for your feedback, guys. I know that most of us getting pretty late right now. It's 11:30. We've gone way past our time. We had fun. I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I'm truly humbled by the fact that you guys are hanging out with us and just chatting with us and stuff. I really enjoy it. I'm really humbled at the fact that you guys want to hang out with us, right? So Thana, anything else you want to say before we end this?
No, man. Go out there and have a little more fun.
Cool. Before I end, I want to do one last advertisement. Please excuse me. Simon, you want to show AutoStar? Guys, if you're watching this, AutoStar is my car wash company, and we recently talked about collaborating with EvoClub Car Wash. Okay, and we're going to have Pro Nano in our shops very shortly when the stocks come around. And right now we're having a promo during MCO time. We're going to do wash, water wax, and we're going to do sanitization for your car as well, all for the price above. A segment, B segment, small, medium, right? C segment, D segment is in L, and then your big cars like SUVs and pickup trucks and XL. Okay, we're doing this over here. Our outlet is in Kuchai Lama. Come and check us out. All right, if you're there, give us a holler. Okay, and pretty shortly we are going to have Pro Nano. All right, Pro Nano in our shop, contactless car wash. Okay, so we do that to scratch your car and can remove dirt even better than the hands. Okay, right. So come check us out if you want to get your car washed and shine. I personally train the staff myself, and to make sure that the staff actually delivers top-notch quality. Okay, our philosophy is that we want to deliver a car service that comes from car lovers ourselves. That's what AutoStar is. Okay, so come check us out in Kuchai Lama. We're still open during MCO period. Pretty soon we'll reopen our Shah Alam outlet. Those of you who'd like to visit Shah Alam. Okay, AutoStar. Okay, powered by EvoClub Car Wash. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for thank you, Simon. You can put this back on normal. All right, we're gonna end this video right now. Thank you so much for your time, Thana. I know it's way beyond our 1 hour time period. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If any questions, please send them over to us. Check out our YouTube channel. Check out my channel at the Thomas Yap and YouTube. Check out Thana's channel at Thana Krishnan and his YouTube channel as well. We do car reviews. We talk about life as well. I do talk about life a lot. Okay, anything else, Thana, before we end?
No, it's okay. That's it. Have fun.
All right, I'll do have fun. I hope you find this session valuable and you have fun with us. Thank you for hanging out with us. Stay safe. We shall see you in the next episode of Talk Gear. With that, keep it 100%. Love you guys. Peace out, man. Peace out, guys. Love you guys.